now my distinct pleasure to introduce to you our keynote speaker. John, an ex-Disney guy, is a nationally known speaker, business consultant, and author of the top-selling book, Making the Customer Experience Magical Now: How to Succeed in Business and Beat Out Your Competition Today. Featured in numerous business magazines, radio, and TV, John has inspired audiences with over 2,000 keynote and seminars to associations, business communities, and professionals throughout the United States. Today, John has become America's customer experience coach and leading authority on tourism, hospitality, and service industries alike. He has successfully coached hundreds of leaders, small businesses, local communities, and tourism destinations to attract more customers, build brand loyalty for life, and drive economic development. Get ready for a magical experience, and please help me welcome the ex-Disney guy and America's best and favorite customer coach, John Formica.
All right. We are doing great. Thank you very much. I am honored to be here today. This is a whirlwind event, but I got to tell you, one of the best events I've been to in a long time. So let's give the chamber and Heather and Kim and Lori and Susan, everybody, an awesome job. I do a lot of speaking all over the world, and a lot of times I get the opportunity to be at events like this, and I'm telling you, you have a first-class community and a first-class chamber, and I hope you realize the jewel that you have. So again, very, very honored to be here. Let me tell you a little bit about myself, okay? I live in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's kind of just down the road a bit, isn't it? Just a little bit, okay? My background is I spent over 25 years managing and supervising people. I did it in the service industries. I managed hotels, resorts, and assisted living communities. Worked for companies like Hyatt, Hilton, the Adams Mark Hotel, Sunrise Assisted Living. But most of my career was spent with that wonderful company in Orlando, Florida, a company that many of you are very familiar with. I used to manage the hotels and resorts for Walt Disney World. How many of you think that'd be a fun job? Yeah, come on now, right? See, some of you think you have a rat for a boss. How would you like to work for a mouse? Yeah, Mickey Mouse was my boss. And some people go, that's so great. You get to see Mickey every day. You get to take his picture. Are you serious? Mickey Mouse was by far the toughest boss I ever had. How many have ever been to Disney World before? How many of you realize the expectations are extremely high day in and day out? And what most people are not aware, there are over 60,000 employees that work for Walt Disney World in Orlando, Florida alone. It's the largest one single location employer in the United States. And as I often travel around the world, speaking at wonderful organizations and communities like yourself, working with businesses, doing keynotes, workshops, I'm often asked this wonderful question. I'm sure many of you are asking it the same. How do they do it, right? How does Disney get 60,000 people to come to work every day, smiling and jovial and laughing and joking, right? And they see a piece of paper on the floor, they run and pick it up. Yet our own businesses, we can't get people to show up to work on time, answer the phones, fill out the paperwork. You want to know why? It's because it's not a fun place to be. It's not a fun place to be. And Disney World was a fun place to be. We worked extremely hard, but we had fun. We had lots of fun. And so as I travel around and I share the model, people want to know the secret. You want to know the secret? Can I just tell you the secret real easily? Everybody wants to know. I'll just blurb it out. Pixie dust. Yeah. And they just sprinkle pixie dust and everybody has a good time. And if you believe that, I have some swampland in Florida I'd like to probably try to unload as well. But Disney has an incredible success model. It's worked for many, many years. What I try to do is I apply on my almost 11 years working with the organization, apply the success model to small businesses and medium-sized businesses and in communities such as yours. I have a passion to do that because most people think they can't. And I'm going to ask you this question. It's going to be sort of give some thought today, and that is this. If Disney ran your business, what would it look like? If Walt Disney World or the Disney organization ran your business, what would it look like? And I know automatically you're all thinking about all kinds of ideas. I had the privilege this morning of doing a workshop for your wonderful community to share some of those success tips of how to transform their customer service into what I call a magical customer experience. Okay. How many of you attended that workshop? Raise your hand. Here's the neat thing. Raise your hand if there's one thing you picked up that you're going to do differently to make some magic in this wonderful community. Raise your hand. Look at those hands raised. Look how much more magic is going to be in your community starting this afternoon, who knows when. And so the goal is to try to help organizations understand. But I'm here today to kind of talk about something a little bit different. It's another part of that model. And to do so, I want to share a story. See, how many of you have kids? How many have ever seen a kid? All right, just checking to see who's out there, okay? How many of you struggle with your children in the morning trying to get them up to go to school? Pretty big, huh? You know, I have two boys. It's kind of the same thing. Well, there's this one little boy, Jimmy. And Jimmy's trying to get up to go to school, and Mom comes in and wakes up Jimmy and says, Jimmy, get up, it's time to go to school. And Jimmy sort of goes, grunts and rolls over, right? Mom goes down and gets breakfast all ready, right? And she's wondering, where's Jimmy? Getting a little bit late. She goes back upstairs, Jimmy's still sleeping. So she shakes Jimmy again. She goes, Jimmy, come on. It's time to get up, time to go to school. Jimmy looks at Mom and says, Mom, I don't want to go to school. Kind of heard that before, right? So Mom goes to Jimmy, you have to go to school. He says, Mom, there's got to be 500 students in that school, and not one of them like me. Mom, there's got to be 100 teachers in that school. Not one of them like me. Mom, give me one good reason why I should go to school. Mom looks over at Jimmy and says, Jimmy, I'm going to give you two good reasons. One, you're 47 years old. And number two, you're the principal. And so I share that story not to make fun of principals, of course, but how many of us go to work every day and it is a chore? It is a chore. It's not fun. Now, I know there are no easy jobs out there, and I know in today's difficult economy and challenges that we're doing more with less and trying to make ends meet. I understand that. But the workplaces don't have to be that way. If we can create what I call a whistle while you work atmosphere. And so today I want to share a couple of things that you can do in your workplaces. Won't cost you any money, but you'll be able to do these wonderful things, and I promise you it will start making your organization magical. Because I will tell you right now, it's not always about money. It's not always about the benefits. It's about the environment that you create within that organization. I shared this morning in the workshop that if you're a leader in this room, one of the things that you realize, particularly if you go through any of my workshops or coaching, is that leaders can't make anybody do anything. And it's a difficult challenge because leaders are in a role to try to make things happen. But if you're going to make things happen through people, you create an environment where they want to do it, not feel like they have to do it. And that Disney does that well. Disney's not a very high-paying organization. SeaWorld, Universal Studios, certainly more pay higher wages in very comparable positions. But Disney creates an environment. A couple of things I want to share with you is how they create that environment. When I'm often asked, and people say, John, seriously, give me a good tip. Give me something that I could take back to my business that would really create some excitement for my employees. Well, one of the things I want to share with you is something that is so simple, yet somehow we lose sight of this in our own businesses and organizations. One of the things that Disney does real well is they get an opportunity to create the dream. They create the dream. Now, you know they create the dream for us customers when we go there, but what they also do is they create the dream for you. If you work there at Disney, they create the dream. They know a way to engage the hearts and minds of every single one of their employees. And they do that with a really simple method of doing it. And before I do that, I want to share this question with everybody out there. How many of you have a mission statement? Most businesses have mission statements, right? Can anybody recite it? Anybody want to really risk their life and say it? Anybody? It's kind of hard sometimes. I don't want to put you on the spot. But I will tell you, I travel all over the world. I work with a lot of businesses firsthand. I speak at a lot of events. Most people, when I ask that question, are very reluctant to tell me their mission. I'm not so sure that they don't know it, but they may not know it by heart. They're kind of afraid to say it. Sometimes it's too long. Sometimes there's all these big words. I had one company, I needed a dictionary to figure out what they were talking about. I had no idea. Way above me. Way above me. Most of the people in this room didn't really design the mission statement. And I'm not here to bash mission statements. You know, heck, you could have made it up. I wouldn't even know what it was. But I'm not a big fan of mission statements. It doesn't mean don't have one, but I'm not a fan of it because when you think of most businesses, if you ask them why they have a mission statement, they say it's an opportunity to inspire our staff and people to what we want to achieve. And I beg to differ. I beg to differ. See, as a business or an organization, you need a mission plan. A mission statement tells you what you're going to do, tells you how you're going to do it. It might tell you who you're going to do it to, when you're going to do it, and where you're going to do it. Those are good things. If I'm a business, I need those sort of things to help understand what goal, what is it I'm trying to achieve. But I got to tell you, I don't know of any employee that you have or I've ever worked with that while I was brushing my teeth in the morning getting ready to go to work, I was fired up about your mission statement. And I couldn't wait to come to work. It doesn't fire people up. I didn't say it doesn't have significance, but it doesn't fire people up. It's missing the most important ingredient. It's not the how, it's not the what, it's not the when, it's not the who or the where. It's the why. Why do it? Why do what you do? Why, as a business, you do the things that you do? Why, as an employee, are you selected to do the things that you do in that business? The why comes from your heart. And what you find out is that people are moved by a purpose. They're not moved by a mission statement. Okay? An attractive mission statement on a wall is a good goal for the company, but nobody gets excited about it. And so what Disney does is they create an excitement within itself to get 60,000 people to be fired up to come into work every day. Okay? And this is how they do it. I'll give you a couple examples. What do you think the purpose is at Walt Disney World? And have fun. Have fun is an outcome of their purpose. Anybody? Have a wonderful experience. That's an outcome of their purpose. Make money. Make money. You know what? I hope they make a whole boatload of money because I'm a shareholder. But that's not their purpose. That's an outcome of their purpose. Because if they stop providing their purpose, they're broke. Disney is no longer in business. Anybody else? Make a customer's experience. Good. Someone said something back here? Make a happy place. I'm going to give you credit for something that is real close. Their purpose is to make people happy. How many have ever been to Disney World? How many have ever been made happy? They're doing a good job, aren't they? That is their purpose. That's it? That's it. John, don't they have a mission statement? Oh, I'm telling you, they have an incredible mission statement. It's like huge. It's got pillars. It's 7 pages long. But I didn't get up every morning going, man, I can't wait to... But I did get up every morning saying, man, I can't wait to make people happy today. Walt himself said, I want to build the happiest place on earth and fill it with happy people. Okay? Now, this is how they do it. This is how they do it. The purpose is to make people happy. So every single person that ever gets hired at Disney World understands that that's the reason why you're hired. No matter whatever you're hired to do as your job, your purpose is to make people happy. Let me give you an example of how this works. Let's say I'm walking around with a dustpan and broom. Okay? And my job is to keep this area clean, correct? That's what I got hired for. That's what I got trained for. That's my job. What's my purpose? Make people happy. So while I'm dustpanning and brooming, I always have my radar up looking for ways to do what? Make people happy. First name? Christina. So all of a sudden I look, I'm dustpanning and brooming, and I see Christina. She's ready to take a picture in front of the Magic Kingdom castle with her family. What do I offer to do? I offer to take her picture. Why would I do that, Christina? That would make you happy. So I put down my dustpan and broom. I ask her for a camera. And I go and I get her in front of the Magic Kingdom castle, and I snap her picture. Okay? And I make her happy. Okay? Now, I get people all the time. John, how do you get those people to take those pictures? Well, let me give you a tip. There's no quotas. My boss doesn't say, John, how many pictures did you take today? Oh, I took 11. Get your butt back out there and take 27 more. Because our standard says we need to take 27 pictures. So you don't have to tell me to take pictures. I want to take pictures. Because you hired me to make people happy, and I get that opportunity to make her happy. Now here's the difference between Disney and everybody else, okay? Let's say I'm walking around with a dustpan and a broom and an elderly couple come up to me, okay? They see me in my costume, because we don't wear uniforms at Disney, we wore costumes. So I'm walking around and they look at me and they go, hey, excuse me, sir, we're trying to find how to get to Fantasyland. Could you help us? And I go, sure, you know, the whole park is in one big circle. Just keep following around and you'll get to Fantasyland. And this elderly couple goes, gosh, you know, we didn't know how far it was, and yesterday we tried to go, but it was really, really crowded. What am I thinking? Maybe I could take them over there, right? So I said, you know what, let me take you. They go, oh, no, you don't have to do it. I go, yeah, let me do that for you. So I put down my dustpan and broom, and I proceed to escort them to Fantasyland. Now, while I'm escorting them, I'm getting to learn everything about World War II, about their great-grandkids, about everything in the world, right? And by the time we get to Fantasyland, by the way, what did we just create? An experience. Okay? We created an experience. We created a relationship. Who are they going to talk about when they go back to the Tri-City area? Me. How nice I was, right? And I created an experience. And I say, you're welcome, thank you very much, you have a great time. Now, I also remember I have a J-O-B, right? But let me ask you this question. If my J-O-B means to keep this area clean and it is not clean, am I making people happy? No. Everything is based on that purpose. So I hustle back to my location. I don't wander, you know, let's see how much time I can kill before 5 o'clock. I'm driven by my purpose. And I get back as fast as I can. But see, when I get back, I can't find my dustpan and broom. And I'm wondering, where is it? And I'm looking all over the place, and I look in the corner, my boss has my dustpan and broom. What does my boss tell me when I get back to the location? Good job. Yeah, my boss says, great job, John. Or no, actually, my boss would be sees me hustling. The first question he'd ask me is, are you okay? Is there an emergency? Is there a safety issue or something I need to be aware of? I go, no, I was hustling back as fast as I can. This elderly couple just need to get to Fantasyland, so I wanted to get them there. And my boss says, great job, John. In fact, can I share that information on a newsletter? In fact, at the next staff meeting, could you stand up and tell everybody, I want everybody to know what you just did. Why does my boss make a big deal of this? Anybody? Reinforced behavior? Sure. Well, let me give you the real reason. True, very true, important. Let me give you the real reason. The reason why my boss would say, great job, is because at Disney, and I hope you understand this can be the same thing in your business, is your purpose has got to be bigger than your job, unless it's a safety or security issue. Okay? Obviously, you don't want anybody hurt, anything like that. Your purpose is more important than your job. How many of us would have had bosses, maybe in our other older companies, where our boss might have said something a little bit different? Like, where have you been? Well, I was helping this elderly couple get to Fantasyland, and I was trying to get back as fast as I can. John, there's 1 million people in the park. You're going to go help everybody? Get your butt back here. In fact, I had to use your dustpan and broom. And if I'm going to be using your dustpan and broom, maybe we don't need you anymore. Sound familiar? And then what happens the next time an elderly couple is looking for a little extra help? What am I going to do? That way to Fantasyland. And ladies and gentlemen, you know what I call this? I call this customer service. And what a waste of an opportunity. As I shared this morning in the workshop, I don't believe in customer service. It's a waste of time. But I do believe in giving your customers a magical experience, something they'll remember, something they won't forget. I promise you that elderly couple is going to talk about me for the rest of their life. I made their day. I set them at ease. They were nervous. They were concerned. I didn't just do this. I was given the opportunity to fulfill the purpose. And so if you're going to have a flashy mission statement that nobody wants to read, that nobody wants to care about, that nobody sees, go ahead. But if you want people to be fired up and set the foundation of why they chose to come work for you, get down to your purpose. Understand what your purpose. Let me give you a perfect example. I work with a lot of teachers associations and work with a lot of schools. I have a program for principals called If Disney Ran Your School, What Would It Look Like? Because they have to run their school like a business, like a Disney World. And I was asked to be their motivational speaker, to be brought in for like 500 or more teachers to kind of give them their really motivational speech to get them all fired up for their school year. So I get up on stage, about 500 of them. I ask them the simple question, what's your purpose? What did they tell me? Teach, educate, help kids graduate, prepare them for college, give them lifelong skills, and I turn around and I try to look as many teachers in their eyes, and I say, guess what? My 2 sons in Charlotte, North Carolina, we don't need any one of you in this room to help my sons graduate, educate, prepare for college, or give lifelong skills. I don't need any one of you. Now, I have to ask this next question pretty fast before they threw me off stage. Because they're like, this guy's our motivational speaker, I want to knock him out. The real question of the day was, why did you become a teacher in your first place? And what answer did they tell me? Love kids and want to make a difference in their life. I said, bingo, that's your purpose. That should get you up every morning. But yet, unfortunately, in our schools, some of our teachers have lost their purpose or forgot it. And they think their job is to teach, educate, and prepare. No, it's not. As parents, we have thousands of other ways to do it. We don't need teachers to do that. But we do need teachers to make a difference in my son's life. I do need teachers who's going to spend a lot of time with my kids to inspire them to be the best that they could be. I need teachers to do that. I want teachers to do that. I love teachers that do that. And how I know that some teachers have lost their purpose, there was a survey taken by Harris Poll. And they asked this question every year on the first day back from the holiday Christmas vacation. Okay? The first day back, like January 2nd, January 3rd, they always ask this survey. Okay? 10,000 teachers were asked this question. 79% of the teachers got this question right. And it's not good. You want to know what the question was? How many days left before the first day of summer vacation? What does it tell you about the teachers? How many of you believe that if you were a teacher and you got to get to work every day and you said, I get that opportunity to make a difference in the life of a child, how many of you think the lesson plan might be a little different? How many of you think your energy level will be a little bit different? Hey, kids, come on, we're going to have a great day today. Take out a pen and pencil, we're going to have some fun. Or some of our teachers just write on a board, or, you can tell they're sorry to be there. Okay? Your purpose drives it. Your people are moved by your purpose. I'll share a perfect way of sharing this with you. One of my favorite people of all times is Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Okay? Can anybody remember the 4 magical words he spoke that day? I have a dream. It must have been incredible to be there that day. Okay? But could you imagine if Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. got up on the steps of the Lincoln Memorial, got way up on the steps, he's talking in front of hundreds of thousands of people in the mall ground. He gets up there on the steps and he looks out at the audience, that huge crowd of 1 million people or more, and he gets up there and he says, I have a strategic plan. I don't know about you, but if I was in that audience, I'd go, oh man, that sounds like work. I'm getting out of here, okay? But what did he say that day? He said, I have a dream, and he moved millions of people. Unfortunately, he's no longer with us today. He's still moving millions of people. People are moved by a purpose, not a cause or mission, okay? What is your purpose in your company? What is your purpose? Do your employees understand what the purpose? I coach companies and organizations to really fine-tune that purpose so it becomes heartfelt and it becomes what I call magical. Because then they're engaged to do it because they want to, not because they have to. And it's the valuable piece that you have to do, okay? So understand what your purpose is. Here's a golden nugget. If you're trying to figure out whether it's a good purpose or not, keep asking yourself this question 5 times. Why is this important? Why is this important? I was doing a keynote in front of a manufacturing and engineering association. This guy comes up to me and says, John, I get this, we make people happy. We do all this special stuff, heartfelt, but we're a manufacturer. It's not much excitement in that, And I go, really? What do you do? He says, we make bolts. I said, so what's your purpose? Our purpose is to be the #1 bolt manufacturer in the southeastern United States, to provide quality bolts so our customers can take their business to the next level. And I went, oh, really? I don't know about you, I wasn't very excited about it, but I wanted to help him out. So I said, okay, so tell me a little bit about your bolts. Are these like the little bolts that go in Home Depot and Lowe's and hardware stores? He goes, oh no, these are really big bolts. They're like the size of your arm. They're like, this is the head and those are the threads. And I go, wow, it's a pretty big bolt. I said, so what's your purpose again? He goes, to make good quality bolts, and he goes on and says the statement again. I said, really, I'm not so sure that's your purpose. So tell me a little bit about this bolt. What does this bolt do? Does it go anywhere? What do you do with this thing? He says, it goes in 747s. Oh, does it really? So what happens if it goes into 747 and it's not a good quality bolt? He goes, oh, it won't work. I go, what won't work? He goes, well, the bolts go in the landing gear of 747s. I go, oh, so why is that important to have a good quality boat in landing gear? He said, well, if it's not a good quality boat, then landing gear won't function. I said, why is that important? He said, well, if it doesn't function, the plane might crash. I said, why is that important? He goes, well, God forbid, if the plane crashes, somebody might get hurt. I said, take that message back to your staff. See if you can come up with a better purpose for your organization. 2 weeks later, he calls me up and he says, we found our purpose. I said, what is it? So excited to hear it. He goes, we protect and save lives at landing. Think about it. If someone asks you, what do you do for a living? I make bolts. Not very exciting, right? What do you do for a living? I protect and save lives at landing. Oh, really? What do you do? Well, I work for the boat manufacturer XYZ. See, I got a little pride. I get to brush my teeth every day and say, man, I get the opportunity to protect and save lives at landing. That's how powerful a purpose can be if you get the right one. If you get the right one. Heartfelt, short and sweet. Short and sweet, okay? The next thing what you have to do to create what I call a whistle while you work is, anybody know what this is? What's this? Thermometer, right? What does the thermometer do? Tells you what the temperature is in the room. Right now it's, 68 or something like that. I don't know, whatever it might be. Most of us go through our work every day in our lives like a thermometer. We come to work and whatever that temperature is, that's what we do. Okay? If everybody's excited, we might be excited. If everybody's doom and gloom, guess what? We're all doom and gloom. If there's a lot of negativity in your business organization, if there's a lot of frustration, if you're focusing on the economy and the business and all this other stuff, guess what? This temperature just remains the same. Did you ever do that? Did you ever walk up to somebody at work and you say, hey, good morning, and they go, what's so good about it? Right? Hey, how's your day today? Thank God it's Friday. Okay? Those people don't want to be there, by the way. You know they want to be there. But instead of being a thermostat, what I'd like you to be is a thermometer. Instead of being a thermometer, I want you to be a thermostat. A thermostat can what? Regulate the temperature. And you in this room can regulate the temperature of your business. Simply by doing what? Looking at your own attitude. And what are you doing to create that whistle while you work environment in your business? See, if you come to work, it's doom and gloom, you're upset about your customers, or your bosses and that kind of stuff, I guarantee you're not creating any magic in your business, okay? And so one of the easiest ways that you can do that is to smile. Would you agree? What does a smile do to a room? Yeah, smile like brings some cheerfulness, right? What I find as I travel over the world, a lot of people don't know how to smile. Do you ever notice some people don't know how to smile? You wonder, right? They never smile. Right? So I want to make sure as I travel around the world that everybody knows how to smile. So we're gonna take Smiling 101 class today. Okay? So here's what we're gonna do. I want everybody to get ready, and if you're under doctor care and you can't do any strenuous activities, take a break, okay? Because this is pretty strenuous stuff. Here's what I'd like you to do. I want everybody to look at me, and what I want you to do is see if you can get the tops of your eyebrows to touch the top of your forehead without using your hands, and hold it for 3 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Hey, that's very good. Good job. All right. All right, next thing I want you to do is I want you to see if you can take the corners of your mouth and stretch them to touch your earlobes. You can do it one at a time or you can do them together. I don't care. Okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Oh, man, that was a good stretch. That was a good one. Awesome. Good job. Next, what I want you to do is take your chin and touch your chest with your chin. All right, see if you can touch the ceiling with your chin. Now touch your chest. Touch the ceiling. Good job. All right, here we go. We're going to do all 3 of these at one time. Okay? What we're going to do is we're going to see if we can get our eyebrows to touch the top of our forehead and hold it. We're going to get the corners of our mouth stretching to our earlobes, and we're going to get our head going up and down. All right, everybody ready? 1, 2, 3, go. Give yourselves a big round of applause. That's awesome. There is no excuse. You all know how to smile. Okay, so now go out there and share breath. If you don't learn how to smile, you got to walk around with one of these. Right? And who wants to walk around with one of these? Just smile. It's not that hard. But yet, how many of us walk around and we don't see people smiling? We don't see people enthused about their job for a number of reasons. So I want you to learn how to smile. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to appreciate and recognize all the good things that you do. You know, a lot of times I find businesses, when I coach them or consult with them, you know, they tell me all the things that are bad in their company. And I get it. They want me to help them, so they're telling me all the bad. But I want to know the good, because I don't think any company's not doing anything good. You never hear about that. And you know what happens? Employees stop hearing about it as well. And everybody focuses on the things that are gone wrong, except all the wonderful things that are going right. And I think we need to sort of post those things and share those sort of things. Okay? Make people excited about it. Okay? So I want to do a little exercise, and I need 5 volunteers to come on up here. You don't have to do anything. You don't even have to get up on stage. If you want, you can just come right up here. I need 5 people. Trust me. You don't have to do anything, but you're going to enjoy what you're about to see. Come on up. Come on up. Quickly, quickly. I can get 5, 6. I don't care. You guys want to go on stage? They want to go on stage. Go on stage. Come on. Please be careful. Good job. All right. All right. I need you to stand right here in front. Go on this side, so we'll kind of get the whole stage covered here. This is good. We have a good audience. I don't mind as many people. We can do this. Come on. Everybody's in there. Okay? Awesome. Okay. Here's what I need you guys to do. I don't want you to do anything. I don't want you to say anything. All I want you to do is enjoy what you're about to receive. But all I ask you to do is please, please, try not to ham it up. Okay? Can you promise me that? Or try. Try. All right. Here's what I want all of you to do. On the count of 3, I would like you to all stand up and give your colleagues here the loudest standing ovation they've ever received for 15 seconds. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Yeah! Woo, 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 woo. Awesome. All right, good job. You are great. Now, hold on. Are you guys still breathing? Yeah. All right, they're still breathing. That's good. I always want to make sure. Now, before I get to them, let me ask all of you a simple question. How many of you have more energy right now? How many of you have more excitement? How many of you could take on the challenges that you have every day at work? How many of you now say, gosh, I'm so excited today, I have more energy? There's a reason for that, by the way. When you celebrate and you applaud like that, it releases the endorphins in your body that ignites energy. And one of the things that I share with people is that they don't have enough energy at work. And you can have all the 5-hour energy bars or drinks that you want, but a simple recognition can do that. And I have Fortune 500 companies all over the United States giving their employees standing ovations, giving their customers, giving their bosses, giving their vendors, not because they did anything great, not because they earned it, it's just because it makes people feel good. Let me ask this question. How many of you feel good right now? Raise your hand if you feel competent. How many of you feel appreciated? How many feel valuable? Now, only you would know whether they really are qualified for those sort of things. But you know what? For this moment, they certainly do. And we've lifted them up. Let me ask you a question. How much did that cost? Do you need an act of Congress to approve a budget? Do you need to put in a capital expenditure? Make sure you can balance that? Because you're going to be giving applauses here. It doesn't cost anything. But yet a simple appreciation for just being there and thanking them once in a while would be a great honor for them to say, you know what, my company, my boss, and the people that I work with believe in me. A simple thing like that, if you can post those celebrations around, The problem in America is that we don't do enough celebrating. We wait to that once-a-year moment, and we do this reward ceremony, and we do this big party, and then we recognize everybody. But what happens every day? People lose interest, just like little Johnny or Jimmy. He didn't want to go to work. He didn't want to go to school. Because it's not fun. It's not exciting. Nobody appreciates what I do. But they'll tell you when you did something wrong. I got to tell you, at Disney, we did a lot of things wrong. Because you deal with a volume of people, that many things are going to go wrong. But we learn from it, but we never chastised for it. We never ridiculed, made fun of, or that was part of our review for the next 10 years. Okay? You move on. You learn and you move on. Now, shame on you if you don't learn, but you move on and you spend more time celebrating, because that's what brings excitement. Thank you very much. Let's give them a big round of applause. You guys have a prize.
Woo!
But I don't have enough, so those of you that I don't have one, please stop by my booth.
Thank you, I wanted one.
Please stop by my booth and you will get one. Let's give them a big round of applause. Good job. Thank you, thank you. I had a bellman at one of the hotels. Have anybody been to the Grand Floridian Beach Resort? I was the rooms division manager there, and I always used to love getting involved when my employees had their anniversaries, because I wanted to make a big deal of it. And there was this one employee that, in a year's time, really made a big impact. So I said, okay, I'm going to make this worthwhile. I'm going to make this worthwhile. So I start walking the lobby of the hotel. And if you've ever been to the Grand Floridian, there's this beautiful grand staircase. And so I'm walking the lobby in the hotel, and I'm telling people, I need you to, would you mind? I need you over here by the staircase. Could you please come over here by the staircase? I need your help. Could you come over by the staircase? And they're like, honey, he wants us over the staircase. He's the manager. Let's go. We got to go. So I got all this group of people in front of the staircase. And then I bring out my bellman. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, today we are celebrating Randy's first anniversary at Disney World. And Randy's done a great job. And I just want to show my appreciation. I know many of you might have had the privilege of Randy helping you with your luggage today, or checking you and checking out. Let's give Randy a big round of applause. And the entire lobby erupted into this applause. Now, I got to tell you, who felt really good? Obviously, Randy. Who else felt really good? What did they talk about when they got back to their homes? They were part of that celebration. See, everybody wants to celebrate. Everybody enjoys celebrating. But we focus on the doom and glooms instead of the fun part. I always tell people, stay away from your stinking thinking buddies. Because all they're meant to do is drive you down. And you can't drive me down. I'll tell you why you can't drive me down. I'm one of the most positive people you'll ever meet in the world. Okay? There's very few, if not any, things that will sort of change my mood. I'm a very positive. How many of you have heard that saying, the glass is half empty, half full? Right? My wife tells people, there's not a glass big enough in the world to put all the water I have in life. I'm very positive. Drives her nuts. She's like, oh, what about, honey, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. Let's think of the positive side of things. I'm always positively driven. And there's a reason why, because your behavior is the only thing we can control. Okay? Did you ever hear that saying, if you think today's going to be a bad day, you won't be disappointed? I have a better one. A lot of people don't like this one, but it's true. If you think today's going to be a bad day, try missing one. That means there's not another one on the other side. That's a really bad day, okay? So the important thing is I always be positive. I'm all about having fun. I love having fun no matter what I do. I like having fun. I'll tell you how crazy I am. One of the things that I get an opportunity to do in Charlotte, many of you may not have that opportunity here in the Tri-Cities. Maybe you do. I don't know. But one of the things that I love in Charlotte is I love being stuck in traffic. I love it. Isn't that a hoot? Come on, isn't that fun? I mean, you get to be in traffic, jam, nowhere to go. I love looking at the veins of people's necks in the car. I love they're all like tense and, oh gosh, I love it, okay? They're just so frustrated. I love looking at them. You know why? You know what I love to do? I go out of my glove compartment, and I have one of these portable smiley things, and I love taking one of these out, and I start waving at all the cars stuck in traffic. And what do I get? I get a couple of smiles out of them, don't I? Yeah, I get a couple of fingers. I get some other fingers. I won't point there right now. Why do I do that? Let me share a simple example why I do that. Because I know what my purpose is. I know why I was brought on this earth. It wasn't to be a general manager of North Carolina's largest hotel in the state. It wasn't the opportunity to work almost 11 years with a wonderful organization at Disney. The reason I've been brought on this earth is make a difference in people's lives. Every single day. Whether it's to help them with their business, whether it's to help them in their own lives, whatever it is. See, I know that if I can get one person on that interstate to drive up to one of those high-rise buildings in downtown Charlotte, and they go to their buddy, and they say, you wouldn't believe this idiot that I just saw on the interstate, and he had this smiley face on some ice cream stick. I promise you, he's got somebody else smiling, doesn't he? And then they're going to share it. And then they go home and talk about it. And what am I doing? I'm changing the world, one smile at a time. Okay? And that's what my purpose is. Whether it's to help them in a business, passionate about driving tourism and economic development to your communities, helping you whether you are anywhere from healthcare to manufacturing, hospitality, it doesn't make a difference. That's what I just am blessed to have an opportunity to work with such great people to help them do that. The question is, do you have that passion about your business? Do you have the passion about the organization that you work for? Do you have the passion about the industry that you chose? Now, I understand sometimes it's a stepping stone to something else. But as we talked about today in the earlier morning workshop, you got to put your heart in it. If your heart's in it, you're not any good. You can't fake that kind of stuff. People know when your heart's not in it. If you believe in your purpose, it'll drive your heart to be in it, whatever you need to do. And so I encourage you to put your heart in it. Understand what your purpose is. Rally your troops around it. I don't want some CEO coming up with your purpose. I encourage you to get everybody on board. Ask ideas. Get some input from everybody. Okay? I want you to smile, have fun, bring a good attitude to work. You know, a lot of us spend a lot of time, more time at work than we do at our homes. Well, there's no reason you can't make it a better place to be. And lastly, have fun. You know, there's a difference between having fun and being funny. Sometimes being funny is not appropriate, but I don't know one case where not having fun didn't bring more energy into an organization. If you do those sort of things, you'll create a whistle while you work. You'll get an extra energy step when you're taking care of your customers or taking care of each other or helping each other out in the community. You'll do it because it's the right thing to do. And so I encourage you to follow those simple tips. I always, there's 3 things that you can do to create a, what I call that magical experience or whistle while you work. The first thing I want you to do is learn to smile when you don't mean it. See if you can learn to smile, even though you may not mean it. Smile anyway. You'll brighten someone else's day. You'll cheer up that atmosphere. The second thing I want you to do is I want you to treat others like gold, even though you don't feel like it. Try to treat others like gold. Your customers, your employees, the people in your community, treat them like gold. And the third thing I want you to try to do is I want you to lift people up and make people feel special. Even if you don't. Even if you don't. Make them feel special. You can do it in a variety of ways. Doesn't take a lot of money, doesn't take a lot of time. Simple thank you, simple appreciation. Spread that around, and I promise you, you'll do that. Okay? I'm going to be over at the booth after this afternoon. So if you want to come by and see me or share any ideas of that sort of things, I have my book, Making the Magical Experience, or Making the Customer Experience Magical. Top seller, it's available. I have CDs available. I've also have an incredible coaching opportunity for you if you need some help in your business. Basically, you can have me for an entire year for less than the price of a cup of coffee a day. And if you're serious about changing your business to create an experience, not just provide service, I'm there to help you. So please feel free to stop by. But I want to end today with a wonderful quote. I shared it earlier this morning, but it means so much to me today as well. And it's a quote written by Winston Churchill. And the quote goes like this: "You make a living by what you get. You make a life for what you give." I want to thank all of you for giving me the opportunity to visit your beautiful place, the Tri-Cities. It is by far a magnificent place. I want to thank the Chamber and Lori and Kim and Heather and Susan, all the people that touched my life these last couple of days. I want to thank you for that. I want to thank everything that you do in your own communities, because you're making a difference. You may not think you are, you may not know you are, but you are. The businesses that you are serving right now is the small business community and the medium-sized businesses that affect our world. And you don't get enough credit. I'm giving you that credit today. And I want to thank each and every one of you for that wonderful opportunity. And for that, I'm giving you my standing ovation. Thank you very much, everybody.